Okay, I've put on my storyteller's hat, as I call it, and I figured I'd tell you folks some stories that my daddy told me before he passed. And they're a couple of my old favorite stories, and he's told them to me time and time again. The first one is called Big Trouble. The second one is The Golden Cannon. And the last one is A Bag Full of Gold. I hope you folks enjoy these as much as I enjoyed telling them. Thanks for listening. Okay, where I come from, there are a set of mountain range called the Stillwaters. Now, my daddy was talking to an old friend of his, an old Indian, Native American. And this old Indian, he was kind of chuckling up about how him and his brother went out and made authentic Indian drawings on some of the rocks and had the white man all fooled. My daddy, he looked at this old boy and he says, you know, I knew that them wasn't real, but I bet you I know where there's some real Indian writing. And the fellow looks at him and goes, oh, where's that, Wes? And he says, well, up on the tables. There's a bunch of writing up there. I've seen them while I was hunting. And the old guy got silent, and it took a couple days for my daddy to pry the information out of him. And he told him this story. He said that back before the white man came, the tribe had a great big to-do shaman. And, well, he went up onto that rock to have spirit visions and whatnot. And one time he went up there and he came back down and he said that big trouble was coming. That didn't know what it was, but big trouble was coming, and they needed to prepare for this. So he got the tribe together and they made up all kinds of bows and baskets, filled them with food, and took all this food and bows and knives and took and put it in a cave in the still waters and sealed it up. So to this day there is still a cave full of ancient Indian artifacts somewhere in the still waters, and if the right feller finds it, he's going to find something special. So that's the first story. The Golden Cannon. Now, in 1862, the state of Nevada was founded during the Civil War. That's why we have the moniker Battleborn. And as a present to the Union, the bigwigs over in Carson City, they decided that they would make a golden cannon and send it back to Lincoln and Washington, D.C. as a present, since that's why we were made a state, was because we supplied the gold that they needed. So they had this golden cannon crafted, and they sent it across the salt flats, and as it was going across the salt flats, something happened, and it got lost. The guard who was escorting it was never seen again, and it was lost. And my dad had this friend, and I believe it was one of the Mussies. I'm not sure who it was, but this was lost in the translation, and it's been some time since Dad told me the story. But he was out herding his cattle, and he came across something in the desert. He jumped off his horse, and he cut it with a pocket knife and found out that it was gold, so he dug it out. And lo and behold, there was this golden cannon. Well, he went back to get it home, to go get it, and this was before the time of GPS, so back then the desert was a lot bigger, and it disappeared again. So somewhere out there in the salt flats, once again, hidden treasure. A bag of gold. Now this one has to do straight with my daddy. Now, back in his younger day, he was out riding the range, herding the cattle, and he came across a old wreck of a covered wagon. Still had the ox skulls and bits and pieces here and there, and you could tell that it was once upon a time a wagon. And he still found arrowheads stuck in the wood of the wagon bed. Well, this made him think of this story as he was telling me this. And back in 1860s, late 50s, there was a wagon train that was coming through the area, and the Indians had their feathers in a bunch, so they attacked. And everyone was killed. And the wagon train had been hauling gold from the mines in California and back to the mint. And my dad found out later on that, from stories that had been told, that after the attack, one of the old squaws found the gold. So she took and she cut a pant leg off of one of the guys, and she took and she tied its end and filled it full of the gold coins that was, well, the gold. I don't know if it was coins or not yet, but well, it probably wasn't. It was probably nuggets on their way to be minted. Well, she filled it full of the gold and tied it up, and then she took it and she buried it in a badger hole so that she could use it later. Well, according to the legend, it's never been found. She forgot where it was, so somewhere out there's a pant leg full of gold waiting to be found. You know, so who knows? Buried treasure.